Welcome, baseball fans, to Game 3 of the National League Division Series between Atlanta and St. Louis. It gives me a special thrill to bring you all this playoff coverage, as many games as possible night after night. Getting into this game here, quick recap of how we got here. In Atlanta, you have there's two games split. First game taken by St. Louis, second game taken by Atlanta. Now we shift back to St. Louis. And in Game 1, Malcolm blew the save, allowing St. Louis to take Game 1. He came back in vintage style and locked down Game 2, giving that a nice little series, a nice little 1-1 split. We shift back to St. Louis now, and we have, once again, another pitching duel. Adam Wainwright for St. Louis and Mike Soroka for Atlanta. They both pitched very deep in the game. They both had very impressive outings. And at the end of the day, neither one factored into the decision here. Sure, Mike gets the win for going over 5 innings, but Mr. Malcolm, the closer for Atlanta, ended up being the deciding factor in the third straight contest between these two. So let's go ahead and get into it here, okay? Adam Wainwright goes 120 pitches. This guy is just pitching his butt off, and he does a phenomenal job doing it. He runs into trouble in the 8th inning there as he's hitting 120 pitches. He's doing the best he can, but he's totally gassed, and you can totally see it. Despite that, he's giving his absolute all, and I give him all the credit in the world. A round of applause, phenomenal work. 0 ERA through his entire start, 0 earned runs, 8 strikeouts. Adam Wainwright, vintage Adam. This guy helped the St. Louis Cardinals win the last World Series they were in, and he comes through again and helps them in this division series. Unfortunately, the outcome had nothing to do with him, but he gave you his heart and soul and gave you everything he had, and to that I salute you, Adam. Way to go. Wonderful work. On the flip side, the visiting Atlanta Braves, coming with Mike Soroka, who's having a phenomenal year, goes your prototypical 90 pitches through 7 innings, and when his spot comes up in the lineup, time to bring in a pinch hitter here and replace him in the bullpen for the next inning. He does a great job. He goes to 1.29 ERA, gives up 1 earned run on the sac fly by Carpenter, allowed Acuna to score in a second. He goes 7 strikeouts in his performance. Was he overshadowed by Adam Wainwright? I think Wainwright absolutely fundamentally did a far superior job. However, given the constraints you had, Mike Soroka did everything you'd want as a Braves fan. And in the end of the day, they both did a phenomenal job. Wonderful work, starters. Wonderful work. The pitching duel was outstanding. The defensive performance was outstanding. I loved it. It was a phenomenal game. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, wondering where anybody was going to break, which hitter was going to break through. The key to this game has fundamentally been small ball, which has been a key to the whole series. Unlike other series like Houston, like New York, and even a little bit with LA and Washington, the National League is renowned for their small ball, and this series has been all small ball. They're able to get runners on, they're able to get runners over, and it's been tremendously fun to watch the strategy, the pinch hitting, the pinch running, the defensive lapses, the defensive play, clutch plays. It's been phenomenal. So, getting into some of our scoring here, as mentioned, Carpenter hit a sac fly with Acuna on. They score 1-0. They're up 1-0. And that carries you all the way to the 9th inning. It really makes you wonder, as they're going through the 9th inning here, with Carpenter on the mound. I believe it was Carpenter. I just watched the game. Where's my mind? Anyway, I noticed the closer in St. Louis is the same guy who was struggling in Game 2 and failed to close out the Atlanta Braves. This is a guy with whom, Carlos Martinez burns St. Louis trying to close out the Atlanta Braves in Game 2. He then proceeds to enable the 9th inning comeback for Atlanta in Game 3. I don't care how good Carlos Martinez was during the regular season. This is the postseason, and if you want to survive, if you want to win in advance, he's hurting you. He's killing you in this thing. Your pitchers are doing everything they can. Your lineup is doing everything they can. This is a team that is not going to give up a lot. They are a very tight-knit group. They're a very low run count team. They're going to bend, but they're not going to break. When Carlos Martinez giving games away, it's killing you. I'm sorry, but it is. When I saw him coming on ninth, I said, oh no, they have a 1-0 lead and they're about to lose this thing. No! St. Louis, your home crowd, they don't deserve this. For Atlanta's side, I thought to my goodness, wow, they just struck gold. They struck pay dirt here. They now have an opportunity to come back again from Carlos Martinez. Speaking of which, in the 9th inning, Swanson, double. Brings in a run to tie the score 1-0. Then Duvall, line drive single, allows Ortega and Swanson to score. Swanson, remember him? Huh? He played a big role in games 1 and 2 there. Scores again in this game. Gives the Atlanta Braves a 3-1 lead. Then Malacon comes in here. Now, he makes me nervous. He's doing a phenomenal job. But he's not a guy who's going to give you... He hasn't shown it to date. We're in playoff. When the game's on the line, he's going to give you a clean 1, 2, 3, strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. This guy lets guys on base. Does he close out the inning? Does he get the job done? Yes. But he makes Atlanta Braves fans... nervous. He really does. And he gives a lot of the opposing team a little bit of false hope for that matter. He goes 17 pitches, 1 strikeout. He does let some batters on. And speaking of which, Wong was the first out there. They challenged the call. The call was upheld. Wong was out at first. Schmidt, double. Up, what I would say, runners on. Then Ozuna, strikeout. Then Molina, line out to the outfield. 3 outs. Granted, this wasn't as scary as like a bases loaded or threatening to score or anything like that, but you're not exactly going clean inning here. You're giving your Cardinals fans a chance, saying, "Hey, I'm gonna bend, but I'm not gonna break. I'm gonna make you think that I'm gonna let you guys get back into this game and attend us in the extra innings or have a walk off." Wasn't the case in this game. Wasn't the case in Game 2. But in Game 1, that was just torturing Braves fan. He couldn't keep it down. So now you have a 2-1 lead for Atlanta. Going into Game 4 here, at this point in time, you are probably going to circle back around to your beginning rotation, or you go to a 4th starter. The managers will probably figure out what they want to do. Either way, at this point in time, with a commanding 2-1 lead, Atlanta has the option to close it out tomorrow. Because this game has been so tight, so close, and so evenly matched, I absolutely see St. Louis saying, we're not done yet. Vintage style, come out Game 4, send it back to Atlanta for a nice little 5-game showdown here. It makes an exciting series, especially when you have, as a person who is a fan of pitching duels, I've been thoroughly loving this series here. You've got excellent pitchers doing their thing and doing it well. Making this game on the edge of your seat, wondering when are they going to bend? How long is it going to take to get this guy out of the game? Both of these teams, you weren't going to do much against either pitcher. And it ended up being a battle of bullpens, in which, in this series so far, Malcolm has been the difference for Atlanta. And unfortunately, St. Louis, Martinez has not been doing you any favors. If it continues to be these 9th inning late comebacks, I'm afraid that might send St. Louis into the night. At the same time, Malcolm is not exactly a Mariano Rivera. He's not exactly a who are some other famous closers? Anyway, I'm drawing a blank there, but anyway, he's not exactly a lockdown, shut him out, I got this, I own this kind of closer. He's a bend but don't break. He's very effective. He gets the job done, and he's done it twice already, but he does make you a little bit nervous doing it. So, with all that, the series has gone to 2-1 Atlanta lead, and we get to see Game 4 tomorrow, Monday, 4 games tomorrow night. The Washington-LA game is going on right now, so we will try to do a review on that when the game over, but depending on how late it goes, that might not be possible, just simply due to the fact that I have to go back to work tomorrow morning, and if the game ends at 3, 4 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, that's just not realistic. I will try. I want to, definitely, no question about it. We'll see what happens. Either way, I'll be back tomorrow to give you a breakdown of the games that have taken place so far. And when the division series are over, one thing I'm really looking forward to doing for all of you is bringing out that bracket board and giving you a breakdown of how all the overall of the series, and show you who advances to ALCSs and the NLCS. Like I did for the wild card going into the division series. I haven't had a reason to bring out the bracket because the division series are still knee deep in their series, being games 3 and games 4. But I'm looking forward to giving you all a bracket update once the division series are over and we have finalists going on to the championship series. So please, if you leave all your comments and opinions in the comment section below, I would love to read all of them, and I'll comment on those with which I have the opportunity to do so. And in the meantime, if you just happen to come across YouTube and come across this video on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe. It greatly helps the channel. I love bringing this content to you, and I would love to bring you a whole lot more, as this is only the beginning of October, and we still have the League Championship Series and the World Series to go through. And then, of course, after the World Series is over, we have lots of hot stove top 10s, who should get what awards, who does get what awards, best pitchers, best managers, all that fun stuff, hot stove acquisitions, all that good stuff. Wonderful content throughout the entire off season. But in the meantime, we are now in the middle of the division series, and I'd love to hear what all you think about what I think. And until next time, have a great night. Thank you for watching.